Hello and welcome back to Date with the Divas. We aspire to bring you quality and engaging content regarding hot topics, your favorite celebrities, fashion, and everything in between. Everything in this video is alleged and presented in the most biased and opinionated way. We want you, our loyal subscribers, to jump down in the comments and share your opinions. If you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button, like our video, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Date with the Divas and on Twitter as Date W the Divas. So let me introduce everyone. And we have Marilyn.
Hello, Divas. Good to see you this evening.
We have Lava.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
We have Marnita.
Cheers.
We have Antrese.
Alamanti Divas.
And we have Alicia.
Hello.
And we have Nicole.
Good evening.
We have Ms. Lavelle.
Ching ching, good evening, Divas.
And I'm Joe. So Marnita, you want to do your thing, girl?
All right, Divas, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. First thing we're going to talk about is Nicki Minaj. She is upset with the Grammy Association. Her new single, Super Freaky Girl, was submitted for consideration for the Grammys. And the Grammys moved it. They said, hey, this is not a rap song. It's a pop song. So I don't know if you guys have heard the song. I enjoy the song. The song samples Rick James, Super Freak. Nicki
really
raps over the whole song. I will say the chorus has a bit of a sing-song element to it, but it's definitely, in my opinion, a rap song. So Nicki had a couple of things to say on social media last week. One thing she said was that if her song, Super Freaky Girl, is a pop song, that Lotto's Big Energy should be a pop song as well. Lotto's Big Energy samples the Tom Tom Club's Genius of Love. Sorry, I'm having trouble seeing my notes. And it actually features Mariah Carey on the chorus. So, you know, we've got Mariah Carey on the track. So Nicki's like, hey, if I'm pop, she's pop. That started a whole beef, which I could not untangle, so we're not going to get into that. Nicki also said that the goalpost is always moved for her. She's implying that the Grammys is doing this to her on purpose, that it's personal. Why is it always got to be moved for Nicki? But that's not necessarily true, because this has happened to other artists in the past years. We had Casey Musgraves. She's a country artist. One of her songs was switched to the pop category. Brandy Carlisle, American Roots category, also switched to the pop category. And I think it was a year or two ago, Justin Bieber had a song that he swore was straight up R&B, but it was moved to the pop category. So Divas, I want to know, what do you think defines pop music? Have you heard Super Freaky Girl? Do you think it's a pop song or do you think it's a rap song? Same question about Lotto's Big Energy. Pop song or rap song? Let's talk about it.
I listened to both of them. Didn't like either of them personally.
You're good.
I thought Nicki's was straight up rap. I think Lotto's, what is her name, Lotto? I think Lotto's also is rap. To me, if there's not a melody and singing without every other word rhyming, it's rap. But I do see, she's not saying they moved it just for her. She's saying they moved it because RCA, the company behind Lotto, does not want to compete with Nicki.
Well, Nicki in her, she was like, why the goalpost got to be moved for Nicki? It's always Nicki.
Right.
So, I don't know. She had a lot going on.
Well, I think Nicki Minaj, who is, we can all agree, is a rap legend at this point in her career, has never won a Grammy, as far as I understand. And she feels like she has a better chance of winning in the rap category as opposed to the pop category.
Right.
And Nicole's point, I think what Nicki is saying is you guys want Latto to win, which is why you're keeping a song with the same composition, the same amount of rap, the same sampling, the same melody, keeping that song in the rap category, and you're moving mine to the pop category because you want this artist to win. I think that's the first piece. The beef is the second piece. But I think that's the first piece of her argument.
Right.
But
right.
I have to say it, but if Nicki has not won a Grammy so far, she cannot say that she's guaranteed to win this coming year. So for her to act like there's 1 year she had it in the bag, girl, you had all these years to have it in the bag, girl. You had all these years.
She has a beef every year with somebody about something, doesn't she?
Right.
Right. But I'm just talking about to win a Grammy. Like if you've been classified as a rap this whole time, what's this 1 year gonna do? Make a big difference? No. And I've always thought Nicki was more so a pop artist anyway, because it's always very sing-songy. Even when she does her verses versus her chorus.
Yeah,
she's on the song. It's like a off-key rap to me. It's just, just because it rhymes doesn't mean it's a rap too much. Poetry rhymes, so. I think he learned to rhyme. Is it a rap song? No.
But
Are
what
the
she said,
descriptions by the Grammy subjective, depending on who's part of that particular committee? Like I tried to find what describes a pop song versus
what's the
describes
criteria
a
exactly?
rap song.
What is the Grammys criteria?
And I couldn't find that. I think it's all subjective based on who's on that particular committee at that particular time.
Well,
And pop. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Lava.
And pop music is popular music.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Correct.
so what defines that? Just like Lavelle said, it's subjective to the particular panel of that particular year. But again, what is the criteria to be classified as a rap? What is the criteria for it to be classified as pop? But also, I do believe that Nicki Minaj does flop back and forth. A lot of her music does have a lot of popular elements, but it all depends on who she's with. Because when she's with Lil Wayne and when she's with Drake, then she's a rapper and her rhymes are a little bit harder. Depending on when she guest stars on certain songs, sometimes her rhyme is a little bit harder, but I think it all depends on the environment in which you can say, but these particular songs, in all honesty, despite the fact that she is rapping and there isn't a lot of singing in it per se, it seems a little popish.
Lava, I agree with you on that. I had to go back and listen to some of her earlier stuff and just different ones to just see, because I was trying to compare. And I actually thought she was more pop in this one as well. It wasn't rapping, and it was more like her voice, her melody was kind of, more of that popish. And I also agree that the other lady, I'm sorry, just blanked on her name.
Latto.
Hers actually could be pop as well. I mean, I can see Nicki's point on that. I think it was a little bit more rap in it. Like when she was rapping, her voice was very consistent, kind of like a rapper. But to me, it could also fall into that. I can see the argument that it should be pop as well.
Right, because I agree too. I think if you kind of compare those to me, I kind of thought it was more so kind of like a pop rap with an R&B feel because of the song that they're sampling. To me, with both of them. So I'm talking with Latto and then with Nicki. So again, like Lavelle said, this is all subjective. Now, maybe they're moving her around, but they've moved other people. But maybe you can consider that, okay, we have certain amount of people that we're already putting here in this particular category. So we're going to put you here because we want you to at least be nominated, and we're putting you in this particular section. Yeah, you may not like it, but we want you to know that we're at least considering you for some form of an award. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and actually after all of this came out, after she had all of this beef, some sources that actually vote on Grammy nominations leaked that she's actually will be nominated in the rap category for a couple of different songs. So it's just that song that they want to move to pop. And I do agree with you guys. It's kind of, it toes the line, and it is a popular song. Like it has those pop elements. So
yeah, but I think,
don't you think
Nicki's point is that Latto's song does too. Like her song is no
Not
more
really.
pop oriented than Latto's. That's her point. Not that
right.
pop
well, I think
So you
she
guys-
had two. a couple of different points. Like, yes, like if you're gonna move me, move Lotto. But I don't know. Girl was
Do
just
we also feel,
her other songs? She's not talking about her other songs. She's talking about this song is rap, and that's what she's worried about. She can go back and look at everything else she did. If everything else she did was gospel and this song is rap, she doesn't want it placed somewhere else. She's not going, she feels she does not have a good chance to win in a pop category against the people in that category.
Right. Which
But I
I
don't know
can
why she's so
understand.
worried if she has other songs in rap
She
categories.
doesn't. She doesn't have other songs in the rap
That's the
female
principle.
category. She doesn't.
Oh, she doesn't?
Right.
no, from what I read, the nominations aren't out yet, but
they come out November 12th, I believe.
right, they're voting for some people that were voting for what should be nominated said that she has another song. The name of it is escaping me right now. That is up for, that could go up for best rap performance.
What I think is interesting is Nicki Minaj has become a superstar because she puts so much pop element in
Exactly.
Right.
She's become more
her
known.
next level. So it's
Exactly.
like
It's adding more stock.
it benefits you in one respect, and then you want to go back to being a straight rap artist when it benefits you
Right.
this day. And so I feel like there's a little bit of that going on, but I understand Nicki Minaj deserves a Grammy at this point in her career. Mama is a legend, and she
That's
needs her
subjective, but all
flowers.
right. She does not rap like she used to when she first came out with those male rappers. She was really rapping then. She's been a pop rapper since the second album onward. Like she
I
is
think
not
like Lava
rapping.
said, she goes back.
A lot of them have. I mean,
She goes back and forth, and that's okay. Like, I mean, if you do it for your audience, you do it for a little pop audience, and then you go back and do a little hardcore for your.
Cardi B does it.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
You're trying to broaden you're broadening your audience.
Audience.
Yeah,
I
I mean, I wouldn't have blinked if she hadn't have said anything. Like, if it would have just been nominated for best pop song or whatever, I would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. But you know, because she made such a stink about it, I was like, hey, let me see.
I think for
Well,
the, do you think that for the
that's what
general,
happened.
do you think for the general public, like you said, Marnita, that people don't care? People just look at the fact that they just thinking about, you're nominated in this category. We want you because we like your song. You know,
Right.
are
Yeah.
people really thinking about, is she more concerned about her credibility, her street cred?
Her street cred.
And so is
I don't think so. I think she wants to win a Grammy, and her best chance is in the rap category as opposed to the pop category.
You have to think this is her job, you know, so think of it in your own career, right? You want those, you know, promotions, you want those
accolades.
You know what I'm saying? So it's for you, your career, it's taking away from you. And I'm not saying forget about the fans and things like this, but as the fans, yeah, we're just saying, hey, you getting an award, but this is her career. So for her, I believe she has every right to be specific and question what is it that she wants.
But I
so
don't
let's say if she wins it in pop, is it a bad thing?
No,
that's a good thing, I think.
It's not a bad thing.
We're attacking Lotto instead of focusing on the Grammy committee.
Right.
Attacking this young female artist. That was
exactly
the issue with
and
it.
and the Grammys
got low.
Well,
the Grammys have had their share, you know, of drama with hip hop and R&B for years.
Let us know in the comments. You want to hear more about Grammy's history, or what do you think pop music is? Do you think Super Freaky Girl is a pop song? Do you think Big Energy is a pop song? All right.
Let us know if there even is a criteria. If you have, can you find the criteria? Can someone please find the
Leave it
criteria?
in the comments.
Probably do. I'm sure the Grammys have definitions of their criteria. They have to.
Right.
So if somebody has the Grammy ballot, let us know, because it should be in there.
Yes. Give us an exclusive.
Feel free to join the discussion with your own opinion.
Yes. That's what we all about here, is our opinions.
Set us straight.
All right. Well, spring has passed. We're coming on to fall. Spring, they say love is in the air. Fall, I don't know what's in the air, but it's a lot of divorces out there. A lot of celebrity divorces. We're gonna get into two. First, we're gonna talk about Tia Mowry and Corey Hardit. Tia Mowry from Sister Sister. I was a fan of Sister Sister. I don't know about you ladies. So this one hit me hard, you know. I think it was
And the
about
picture,
2
she
weeks
looks
ago.
so, look at her eyes in the picture. I know.
Oh, and about 2 weeks ago, Tia posted this picture and this announcement that she and her husband are separating. Basically, she said that they're going to remain friends. They're going to co-parent their 2 children. And she just thanked everyone for their support. Tia and Corey met on set of a movie back in 1999, I want to say. Yeah, they met on a set of a movie in 1999. They were friends for a year. Then they dated, and then they married in 2008. So like I said, they have 2 kids. Their son Cree is 11 and their daughter Cairo is 4 years old. They've announced their split, and she says that this chapter of her life is called putting herself first. They're still showing each other love on social media. She posted a series of pictures of herself. Corey left a little heart emoji. She responded, "I love you, Corey." So I wanted to talk to you guys about divorce. Talk to this single diva about divorce. I think we traditionally have looked at divorce as a negative thing. And the way that Tia and Corey are putting it out there, it seems positive, maybe freeing. Of course, there is some, you know, some sadness. A family is changing. A family dynamic is changing. What do you guys think about this new kind of positive outlook on divorce?
Is it really positive? She
Yeah.
says that she's looking to herself first. That's not positivity. When you're in a marriage, in a relationship, in essence, you are last. You put all your energies into your family, and then you kind of weave yourself little bits of moments for yourself. But when you're saying that, you know, that says to me, you know what, I'm done with everything, and I'm always holding up everything, and I'm pulling myself back. I'm going to do me now. That's what I see.
But I feel like that's positive.
Yeah, I didn't take it like in a negative light. Like, you know, when, you know, I mean, putting her, like, I guess, children aside or whatever, I think she's taking it in terms of her relationship with her now, I guess, ex-husband, that, you know, okay, now she's got to focus on her and get herself, quote unquote, back on track, maybe, or what have you, and in a better place. And that's how I
I agree. Because you know, sometimes in marriage and families, you do lose a part of yourself. You do lose your individualism. You do lose sometimes you may even lose your purpose. You may have lost your purpose in terms of where you want to go, the things that you may want to do. So I didn't take it as negative, and maybe they just, their goals as a couple didn't mesh together, and maybe they feel they can do it separately, but still maintain their family in a positive way. And if they left amicable, I don't think that's, again, it could be for the public eye, but
I mean, I understand all of that, but just saying that, you know what, I'm going to focus on me now. There was no call. If that's the case and it's positive, there was no need to say that. She made it a point to say that.
I just think I disagree with that. And the reason I say that, just from the standpoint of, I think where she is now, she's like, I'm focusing more on myself, because when you're in the marriage, you do focus on your marriage, your kids. And she's not that she's going to stop focusing on her kids, but you also realize if you don't take care of yourself, your marriage can't survive either. No relationship can survive, even your friends, your friendships, those kind of relationships. You've got to be healthy and loving yourself. And if you lose yourself too far gone and you only leave just a little bit of yourself, it's going to cause problems in any relationship. So again, I hear what you're saying. I also didn't take it negative. I took it as, okay, they're separating, and she's looking at, okay, I'm going to start putting time and more energy into me from that aspect of it. And I think it's a good thing. I don't think divorce doesn't have to be nasty and negative of what we're seeing out here. it's really great to see a couple who, if whatever reason they're getting divorced, that they're trying to put the kids first and realizing that's the most important, and they need to show love for each other because they're still going to be parents regardless. At the end of the day, they still need to have a functioning relationship. To me, it's very admirable that they are treating each other with this respect and trying to show love regardless of what the reason is behind their divorce. It doesn't have to be negative.
I agree everything that you said with Marilyn, and it doesn't have to be negative, but just that connotation, just that little sidebar note makes it think that, okay, it wasn't about you, so now it becomes about you. Because yes, go ahead, Nicole.
What I hear when she said that is that perhaps, as they were not necessarily equally yoked, maybe she was propping him up all that time. Maybe she was putting all of her energy into him and bringing him along. And maybe now that he's sort of made it, she wasn't feeling that sort of support back from him, perhaps. And that's why now she is going to take care of herself.
I like that response better, Nicole. I agree with you.
Okay, y'all. Well, I want to move on to a related subject. We got another divorce out there. Cynthia Bailey and Mike Hill. Cynthia Bailey was a model, and then she moved on to be the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Mike Hill is a sportscaster. He's been on Fox Sports, ESPN. He's currently hosting a show on the Black News Channel. They announced their divorce just 2 years after being married. They got married in October 2020. And they announced their divorce this October 2022. So a little bit of their history for anybody who is not familiar with the couple. They met on Steve Harvey's talk show. He was doing like a celebrity dating hookup type thing. He introduced them. They started dating, but they did not live in the same city. Cynthia Bailey lived in Atlanta. Mike Hill lived in Los Angeles. So that whole time that they were dating, they were basically in a long distance relationship. Even when they were getting married, it wasn't clear on like where y'all gonna live. I think it was still kind of some traveling back and forth and splitting time between houses. Mike Hill has admitted in his book, and it came because he was writing a book about it. It was part of the story of Real Housewives of Atlanta, that he has cheated in his past relationships. So I want to ask you, Divas, do you think that the long distance played a part in that? Do you think that they should at least live in the same city for a little while before getting married? And, they say once a cheater, always a cheater. Do you agree with that, or do you think that somebody can change?
I would hope somebody
I
can
understand
change.
Cynthia moved to Los Angeles.
I was looking to kind of confirm that.
She did, because she asked to be a part of the Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
For him.
Okay. I think she still has Lake Bailey though.
She does.
Her home.
Mama shouldn't give up her assets.
Okay.
I think
Nicole?
she said she was going to Airbnb Lake Bailey while she was living in. I think her daughter moved to Los Angeles. I think the family did.
Exactly.
I know.
I know. Los Angeles
was
before
living
she
with
got
Mike.
married anyway. Her daughter.
Say what?
So her daughter was.
But her daughter was living with Mike. Her daughter was living
with
Mike.
So I'm sorry, Nicole. Were you going to say something?
I was just going to say they quarantined together, so she was here in LA.
Okay, but would they quarantine but if she was trying to join Housewives, because I saw a interview that she did for Bravo Insider where the Housewives interviewed each other, and Eva Marcel was interviewing her 3 months before the wedding, and Eva was like, "Oh, where are you guys going to live?" And Cynthia was like, "I don't know. We're still figuring it out. I'll spend most of my time at our LA home while he works." So it didn't seem clear, but do you guys think that played a part? Do you think that
it seems to me like they didn't really want to fully jail their lives 100% together. Like she was so married to Lake Bailey that she didn't want to fully give it up, because I mean you can have multiple homes for sure, but the way if 3 months before the wedding you don't know where you're gonna live at, that's a clear sign right there that you're gonna try to have a long distance marriage,
But I I
They
think
just
for
couldn't figure it out.
Hollywood and industry relationships, that's not atypical for couples to spend time away from each other.
And how long do they stay together though?
A
Well,
lot of them didn't get the part,
and
so they
Marnita,
just
in her lovely introduction, Marnita said that he had previously cheated. What he said was he had cheated on every woman he had ever been with.
Basically,
Wow.
he did.
Mike was a cheater, pumpkin eater. Shout out.
And there was an incident in 2021 where
Yes.
a woman came out on social media and said that Mike had been sending her nude pics via Snapchat. He denied it. He said that wasn't me. You know, it wasn't me.
Allegedly.
And he said he was gonna, I think, seek legal ramifications if it, it continued.
So do you
The
guys
rumors
believe Mike? Do you think always a cheater, always a cheater?
I think it depends on the situation. I don't think you can classify everybody. People
Right.
cheat, and doesn't mean that they will not, that they're going to cheat again. But in his case, if you're saying that he has a history of always cheating, that to me is a red flag in itself. I mean, what's different about me between all these other women that you've been with that's going to change you from that? That would have been a red flag for me. But I don't.
I know
think
he
you
says
can
that he's
classify.
changed.
Could they all say that?
Yeah, don't they say?
Yeah, he said he's changed. But also, what my thing is, okay, Leon, her baby daddy, that didn't work out, but they're still amicable. They're still friends. Peter, that went to the fire, and that went to the fire real quick. But apparently, I think he sent her a message saying that she's a queen and she deserves love.
That's correct.
And yada, yada,
Very
yada.
amicable. Very amicable.
Very nice. But now I'm thinking common denominator. I'm trying to be nice about this.
No, you do
There's a
gotta look at
common
that.
denominator, and I'm trying to think of what is going on.
Some
And
women
I say
pick
that
the
with my
wrong
New
men
York
for them.
accent. What is going on?
Some
What were
people
you
pick
saying
the wrong
about-
men. Some
Right,
people
she
pick
just-
the wrong men. They pick the same type of men, so it's the same. So yes, she is the common denominator. Maybe she just doesn't know how to pick.
She doesn't.
Nicole, you were gonna say? Nicole?
Oh, did I say something?
Okay, I thought you were gonna say something. Sorry, Lavelle or Lava. You were gonna say something?
I said we quote from Joy Luck Club. Good quality crab.
Right. You gotta pick the good quality crab. Exactly.
But where do we find this good quality crab? What I love about Miss Bailey is she's not going to live unhappy. Her peace is first.
I
And
agree.
she's not going to let a situation drag on and on and on. If she's not happy, mama is bouncing. And personally, I respect that about her.
Teresa, I agree with
And
you
you-
wholeheartedly. If you are unhappy in a relationship, don't worry about the naysayers, what people are going to say. Oh, she's been divorced twice, or oh, they shouldn't have been married because there was only 2 years in it. You got to make sure your peace. Life is too short. You don't know how long we're going to be here. So if you're unhappy, deuces, keep it moving.
All
I
right.
like the
And
fact that she loves love.
Yes.
Right.
She will love again. She did say
Yeah,
it.
and she's not
Exactly.
jaded. Yes, keep it
And at
moving.
BravoCon, at BravoCon, they interviewed her, and she said that there's still a friendship there. She loves him, and she still respects him, and she respects their how their marriage was. So
Yeah.
yeah,
She's another.
So we love and love.
love. So I guess
Love being
You
in
were
love.
easier on Cynthia than you were on Tia. I'm a little disappointed. Okay.
Yeah, Lavelle, what's up?
Hey, you never know how the
is-
conversation with the divas is gonna go.
let me tell you,
Everybody, all y'all watching, let us know what you think in the comments. Is Tia being selfish? What do you think about Cynthia Bailey? Let us know. All right. Our last topic is Miss Eboni K. Williams versus Chris Rock. For anybody who's not familiar with Eboni K. Williams, she is an attorney. She is a contributor on different news stations, including CNN, MSNBC. I'm sure there's something else there that I'm missing. She is a podcast host, and she used to be a fan of Chris Rock's comedy. Not anymore. She is done with him. So Eboni went to a Chris Rock show a couple of weeks ago, and she said she felt like he was shucking and jiving for his mostly white audience. She seemed to take issue with the fact that he came out in front of this white audience and said, I'm Black. So let me know what you think, Divas. Do you think that Chris Rock is shucking and jiving, or do you think he's just doing what he has to do to, to survive and get his comedy out there? Have you guys seen any Chris Rock comedy lately? Are you a fan? Talk to me.
So do we know what exactly she heard him say for that line? Because listen, I don't like it when Black people be calling me the N-word either. Like, you know what I mean?
That's all I was able to find was that
Okay.
she said that he said that, but she didn't really go into detail, and she didn't stay for the whole show. She says herself that she was just done with it, and she walked out and left.
So I guess she wants white people to call her the N-word then or something. Like, she's okay with being called the N-word, I guess. I don't know. Like, for her to claim just because he doesn't want to be called the N-word that he's shucking and jiving.
No,
like,
no.
I'm gonna need more.
No, that's not.
Okay.
That's not what she said. Chris Rock did a bit, and I made the, what did he say? I'm Black, but I'm not a N-word.
He's putting Black people in two different categories.
Right.
Basically. There's Black people, and then there's
the N-word.
So I know that he did
the way that we use it, not the way that Caucasian people use it, the way that Black people use it. And he's saying, there's Black people that are this way, there's Black people that are that way. I'm this type of Black person. It's an old shtick that he's been.
I was gonna say I found a clip from his '96 comedy show, Bring the Pain, where he went through that for a mostly Black audience, and he said, and in that one he said, I love Black people, but I hate N-words. And then he went on and kind of comedically described for him what separated like being a Black person and being the N-word. And he was getting some laughs. Like he had the crowd going, and this seemed to be a mostly Black crowd at the time. It was in DC. I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing at like his explanations and things. But, and this is my thought, I wasn't able to find a clip from any of his recent shows. So like Antree said, I think he was just rehashing that old joke.
Right.
But is it time to change it if your audience has changed from mostly Black to white?
But he's still Black.
He's still Black. No, he's
sure ain't changing.
But when I first heard what Eboni's comments, and then I looked at some routines where he goes through that shtick, my thought was, you say you've been a lifelong Chris Rock fan. He's been doing this routine for years and years and years. But when I listened to her again today, I thought, okay, well, if I'm in a room with white people and he's doing this routine, perhaps I'm feeling a little bit differently about the 80 to 90% white audience laughing about something that's kind of in our community.
Right. I agree.
The culture is
her alone, because she said she went to the show alone.
Yes.
I don't know why that was important.
Because it's the one thing if you go with a group of 9 Black divas and we're all laughing together. But if you're the only Black person in the row, I mean, for me, I don't know. For me, that feels different. The optics to me.
Yeah,
But
well, now that you say it that way, I kind of agree. He should adjust his jokes towards what his audience could relate to. They can relate to that type of joke.
That's not true. That's not true.
I'm relating though. If it's funny, it's funny.
That pitch when he did that 90, that was a Netflix thing. So who's your audience? Everybody's your audience that's gonna watch it.
That's true. You can't control that.
And who's going to go out and check the audience and say, all right, be tonight?
I thought about that too. I thought about that.
All right.
I got the A and B joke comedies. Yeah. Oh wait,
But
that's
hasn't
what
our
this one.
hasn't our climate changed? Our culture changed? Are
See,
we
but
not
this is
trying
where
to?
this is where I have a problem too. Yes, our climate has changed and things like this, but again, right? This is his job, right? His job is jokes.
Make people laugh.
To make people laugh versus, good, bad, however it is. And I get it, we want to be, politically correct and all of this thing, but to what end? Like, you know, some parts of it are jokes, and yes, I get it. You know, some people get offended and they're hurt, but he's a comedian. This
And
is
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
But going kind of back to what Antri said, like your frame of mind when you're watching this. Again, I don't know how familiar everyone is with Eboni K. Williams, but she was the first Black cast member on Real Housewives of New York. And that ended up with her filing a formal complaint against another housewife for racism. And they didn't even have a reunion because this complaint was under investigation. So I don't watch Real Housewives of New York, but I would see clips of Eboni kind of doing battle with some of the white women there and just trying to stick up with her for herself as a Black woman. So this may have changed her frame of mind too. And then I didn't even think about that, like going by herself, like you're going by yourself. If you don't have your friends laughing with you, that's a little different. And then what else was I going to say? But also on Trees, I agree with you. If she's been a fan of Chris Rock, then
Yeah,
you should have been familiar with the show.
Yeah.
So I did watch that season of Real Housewives of New York because I'm a fan, and I was excited to see Eboni added to the cast, but she was with Upper East Side white women, an all white cast of rich white women, and she was bringing race to the table every single episode.
Oh, okay. So she brought it up most of the
She
time.
brought it up every episode, and it got to the point where, like, girl, that's not what we watched Real Housewives of New York for. Like, blend. And then she was very, you know, she's a lawyer, and this is her topic. She studies race.
Oh, okay.
She's a militant on this topic, and so it made the women uncomfortable. And they brought in another Black woman who was Gen X, because Eboni K. Williams is 39, Chris Rock is 57. They're in two completely generations. He's Gen X, she's millennial. They brought in another Black woman who had a more relaxed view of race relations. And Eboni never went out and called her the C word or a sellout, but it was heavily implied. So it was like, if you didn't believe in her, if you didn't follow her viewpoint in terms of race relations, she was real hostile, and she didn't appreciate it. And so I think, you know, this is a topic for her. And she made a comment that Chris Rock is no longer a competent voice for the Black culture. But I was like, well, girl, when did he sign up for that?
Yeah, when was he?
When we did the poster board for it.
When did we elect him to do that? Like, Chris Rock was supposed to tell jokes and make us laugh.
Right.
We thinking about him in
guys a
New Jack
question.
City.
Do you guys think that she's, go ahead, Nicole, I'm sorry.
She said he was unapologetically anti-Black.
No, I don't believe that.
I don't think so. I think she probably took it a bit far, because I mean, especially if he was doing the skit that we are familiar with. I mean, it was a story. He didn't just start with that topic. There was a story around it. So I think she, you know, maybe.
I have a question. Do you think that she brought up something just to be trying to strike the iron hot while it's hot to be relevant at the moment? Because Chris was so hot topic earlier this year. And if she's, like you said, if she's really a fan, she would have heard this type of joking before. So what's the surprise? And then who goes to, I mean, I know, go out by yourself, sure, but going out to a comedy club by yourself with all about audience, why you there, sis? Why you there?
I disagree with that. You can go out.
You can go wherever you want by yourself.
I go to plays, movies, dinners. If you're traveling, there's not always somebody to go with, so you don't know your audience. I disagree that she's going out by herself. It's like, should be part of the conversation.
She was even bringing up like his past history, because he was from Bed-Stuy and he was bussed into a different, like an all-white neighborhood, saying that while he was at this school, he was bullied and beaten up by white people. So that maybe this is the cause. And I was just like, okay, lady, I think you're taking it just a bit too far. You're reaching.
So a lot of kids were bused into white schools. I was in that busing age where you get bused from one neighborhood to the next. So yeah, she's reaching, in my opinion.
Yeah, just for some attention. Because now is she still on the Real Housewives now?
No, she has a show.
She
she has a podcast.
Canceled the show basically, and they're rebooting with a whole new cast.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they didn't even want to do a reunion because she filed that race complaint against Ramona Singer.
Mona Singer.
So
Oh,
she-
wow.
She
Okay.
really shook it up.
Right.
Shook
But,
the table, honey. She shook the table.
Yes.
You don't
But
invite
she
me to the
does have
table
a-
at first. I'm gonna shake this crap up. I get it.
But
girl.
she does, Alicia, she does have a podcast, and that's where this clip is from. So this
Yeah, I
was a
bet you nobody
clip.
was listening to our podcast before now, because I sure
Hey,
ain't heard of her.
you know what? I used to listen to it, but only because her co-host, Dustin Ross, who was the one she was talking to in the clip, he's on another podcast that I really enjoy. And so when he was like, "Oh, I'm joining this podcast," I was like, "Oh, okay," but you know, it's a little too serious for me, but I
Right.
tried.
Well, that's all we got this week, Divas. Leave us some comments.
Subscribe.
Yes, thank you. Hit that subscribe button, like our video, leave us some comments. Do you have some questions? Is there something we didn't get into? Is there something that we don't know? Did you go to the Chris Rock show? Were you offended? What do you think? All right, divas and fellow divas out there watching, till next time.
Good night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.